Good morning. It's Thursday the 29th of August 2024 and this morning I've arrived at my old comprehensive school in Chepstow. Lots of happy memories there. Not. I hated school, absolutely hated it. But Chepstow Leisure Centre's there as well, so I can always remember the leisure centre used to be there when I went to school there, because I can remember using the swimming pool when we used to do PE and stuff. So anyway, I haven't come here to look at my old school. I have come here to walk a little bit of the Wye Valley Walk, which runs just here. When I used to do things like PE at Chepstow Comprehensive School, we did things like cross-country running. And that's actually how I first discovered the Wye Valley Walk, because at that time the Wye Valley Walk started at the school rather than the castle where it does now. And when we actually did cross-country running, our teacher actually took us along the Wye Valley Walk, so that's how I first discovered it. So as I walk through this gap in the wall now, I'm entering the Piercefield estate. And there's a bit about Piercefield on this sign here. Piercefield walks. Well, I'll just read the top bit, I won't read all of this. These winding walks and viewpoints overlooking the Wye are an early example of picturesque landscaping. In the 1750s, Valentine Morris inherited Piercefield estate and sugar plantations in Antigua. He used his wealth to support being a local magistrate and landscape in this estate, just as tourists, artists and writers were discovering the Wye Valley. Fantastic. Look at that. My first view today over the River Wye. Absolutely wonderful. So this viewpoint is called the Alcove. There's a sign just over there. The first or last viewpoint on the Piercefield walks, created by Valentine Morris in the 1750s. Well, it would be lovely to stop here for longer, but I better carry on along the Wye Valley Walk. You now arrive at the platform, a dark point of view enclosed with iron railing. Here you have a semi-transparent prospect of the town and castle of Chepstow on the right, and of the white cliffs of Lancourt glistening through the thick wood on the left, in a most beautiful and inexpressible manner. I do remember this next place though. There we go. That's the Grotto. Although the last time I came here, which was 30 years ago, I didn't know it was called the Grotto, but I do now. The grotto was originally lined with glittering crystalline minerals, glass fragments, iron and copper slag. It was built into the side of an Iron Age hill fort. Of course, when I came here 30 years ago, the internet wasn't around then, so if you wanted to find any information about these places, you had to go into libraries and get books. But even then, I wouldn't have known what to look out for, because also nowadays you've just got so much more signage everywhere, wherever you go. You know, whether it's walks on touristy places or even less touristy places, there are always information boards now. It's great. Now, as I walk along this stretch, I am starting to get more glimpses of the River Wye down below. It's just down there. Lovely. It's so great to be along here again. As I say, apart from coming cross-country running, once I discovered the Wye Valley Walk, this was another of the very first walks I did as a kid when I discovered walking. So yeah, this section of the Wye Valley Walk I used to do very regularly as a kid. Excellent. I remember this very well. Oh, this block of stone right bang in the middle of the path. It's almost like somebody just dropped it by helicopter here or something. It's really weird, sort of an isolated stone like that. Great to see it again. I wonder what it was. Yeah, I wonder what it was. Yeah, I can't see anything around to suggest that it was part of something at one time, but who knows? Whatever. It's good to see it again. Whatever you are. The stone is actually one of several around here, all of which are the remains of an amphitheatre called the Druids' Temple. Okay, I remember this fork as well, so the Wye Valley Walk carries on down to the right, which is where I'm going, so I know what's down here. Let's go and have a look-see. Right, so you've got a lovely little viewpoint here. You can see the Landcourt Peninsula on the English side of the Wye, and beyond it, those cliffs there, that's Winter's Leap. But next to the viewpoint, we have the Giant's Cave. Fantastic. The Giant's Cave, a most romantic cavern extending 12 yards, hewn out of the solid rock, but its attractions are of secondary moment when compared with the view presented before the entrance. This cave is a thought which will hand down to future times the justness of Mr. Morris's taste. The design and the execution are equally great, not a mark of a tool to be seen. All appears perfectly natural. And the exciting thing of this part of the Wye Valley Walk is that it actually takes us right through the cave. Let's go. Okay, on through the other side then. Mind me, Ed. Here we go. And out the other side. Oh, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Again, it's lovely to see the Giant's Cave again after all these years. Okay, I better press on now then. So now, this climb, I'm climbing up to the A466, so I'll be crossing over it in a minute. Well, I've crossed over the A466 and I've now reached Lower Wyndcliff. Okay, only a short stretch into the Wye Valley Walk to go now before I turn back the other way. Well, I could divert off the Wye Valley Walk and go that way, but I will be coming back that way a bit later. So I'll continue on the Wye Valley Walk, which takes me along here. Wow, this footpath junction looks totally different from what I remember, but then I don't think I've been to this actual location since the late 1970s, so a very long time ago. So yeah, anyway, if I was to go that way, that would actually take me towards St Arvan's, but I will be going along this way later. But for now, I'm going to be continuing along the Wye Valley Walk, which climbs up there. So now I've reached this small car park at Upper Wyndcliff. And the Wye Valley Walk continues up that way. I've reached another junction. I'll be going along there a bit later, but for now I'm going to carry on along the Wye Valley Walk because there's something of interest just along here. This is the wonderful Eagle's Nest viewpoint, and that has got to be one of the best views of the River Wye and the River Severn at the same time. Two rivers in one view. How fantastic is that? Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. You may agree with Victorian tourists that this vantage point looks like an eyrie. In 1801, local printer Charles Heath followed the example of William Gilpin, the father of British tourism, and described his tour of the Wye. Here let me pause, as the eye surveys this terrestrial paradise, the winding of the river, the farm on the peninsula, the waving woods, contrasted with the bare and ragged rocks, the town, the castle, and the bridge of Chepstow, the splendid course of the Severn, and the hills of Gloucester and Somerset. Well, I really could stop here all day, because the view is undoubtedly absolutely fantastic. But one, I can hear some people coming, and also I need to get on with the walk anyway. Well, I finished with the Wye Valley Walk for today, and I've just retraced my steps to this junction where I was earlier, and I came up there. But now I'm going to go this way. I wonder what's along here. Let's go and have a look and see. I am now descending the 365 steps, and no, I ain't counting them as I go. I'm just going to enjoy the walk. So I'm back at Lower Wyndcliff, fantastic. I really enjoyed coming in the 365 steps, absolutely wonderful. I wonder if anybody's actually ever managed to successfully count them, because they're not really easy to count. But there you go. So that's why I didn't even bother today. Anyway, I'm back where I was earlier. I've rejoined the Wye Valley Walk at Lower Wyndcliff, and this is where I went, and the fork just along there was where I turned right up to Upper Wyndcliff. But I'm going to walk along there now and then turn left at that fork as I take the path towards St Albans. I've crossed over the A466 again. I'm now going to make my way across here. We're sort of heading back towards the Wye Valley Walk when I came up from near Giant's Cave, and then we're going to turn off and go back to Chepstow a different way. Well, I've arrived at another fantastic viewpoint here in the Wye Valley. Look at that. Absolutely wonderful. So this viewpoint is called Lover's Leap. Absolutely wonderful. Isn't the Wye Valley beautiful? Never tire of it. Okay, well that's it then. I shall move on now. Well, here we have the wonderful ruin of Piercefield Mansion. Well, it's been a long time since I've walked up to Piercefield Mansion. I know I've seen it from a distance on walks that I did in the past, but I don't think I've been here since I went cross-country running with school. So yeah, late 70s probably I last came here. Wow. Yeah, and when I was here before, that fencing wasn't there, so that's since my time. But the grounds of Piercefield Estate still look fantastic. Look at that. Wonderful. Well, I can't see any sign or notice board about Piercefield Mansion, so I'll see what I found online about it. Well, it's down as Piercefield House here. So Piercefield House dates from after Valentine Morris's death. George Smith commissioned one of the leading architects of the day, Sir John Soane, to redesign Piercefield. A later owner of Piercefield, Mark Wood, added a curving portico, now lost, and the flanking pavilions designed by Joseph Bonamy. And these are the old stables. Again, all that fencing is since my time. So these were the stables for Piercefield House. During the Second World War, the racecourse was requisitioned. Lancaster bombers were assembled here and parked under the trees before being flown to Bristol. Despite stretching from St Albans to the Lion's Lodge, the grass runway was too short. Aircraft were stripped of the essentials with only enough fuel to get across the Severn to Filton. Well, I mentioned the racecourse just now. There it is, Chepstow Racecourse. It's quite funny thinking about it. All the years I lived in Chepstow, I never came and saw a race at Chepstow Racecourse. They had a market on And I remember coming to that a few times, but never ever saw a race. Well, I'm coming to the end of my walk now, really. Just a little further up this track, and then I'll be on the outskirts of Chepstow, so nearly about where I'm started. But it's been a lovely walk again, as all my walks are. Really nice to do a stretch of the Wye Valley Walk again, a stretch that I remember from my childhood, and some fantastic viewpoints on this walk, of course. But it's also been nice seeing Piercefield House again, or Piercefield Mansion, whatever you want to call it, because I don't think I've actually walked up to it since I would have done my cross-country running in school, as I said, so all those years ago. It's amazing when I think about it. Oh well, short walk back to my car now then. I'm parked in the car park at Chepstow Leisure Centre.